Do you know that every polling agency in this country considers regular church attendance to be, or they define regular church attendance to be once out of every 4 to 6 Sundays? 30 years ago, it was 3 out of 4 Sundays you had to attend a church to be considered a regular church attender. Now then, if you pop in once every 4 to 6 weeks, you're considered by polling agencies to be a regular church attender. Now, how fickle is that? I mean, it begs the question, am I just someone that is confessing to be a Christian, or am I truly a devoted follower of Jesus Christ? Because there's a difference between the two. And so I'm fascinated by mob mentalities, by the mentality of a crowd and what happens to a crowd. What is the destiny of the crowd? I wonder about those that were there that day. What was their destiny? What happened to them? What will happen to us, the crowd that is here today? Well, there will be some, to be sure, that will be unexpected converts. Out of every crowd that is in the presence of Jesus and hears the message of Jesus, there's always unexpected converts. That's what happened to Simon of Cyrene, isn't it? There in verse 26, it says, when they led him away, that is speaking of Jesus, they seized a man, Simon of Cyrene, coming in from the country, and placed on him the cross behind Jesus. Simon of Cyrene, Cyrenaica is where he's from, one of the wealthiest capitals in northern Africa, from an area that today is Libya, modern day Libya. Immerse yourself into the text here. So you have this man, Simon of Cyrene from Cyrenaica, and he's made his way. He's a pilgrim, probably has come for the Passover event. Maybe this is an annual trip for him, an annual pilgrimage that he makes. So he's traveled to Jerusalem, not unusual, because during Jewish festivals, especially the major ones like Passover, Jerusalem would swell to over 1 million people, with all the pilgrims coming in from everywhere. So maybe Simon is one of those, and here he is coming into Jerusalem, and he's there for the Passover event, and he notices a crowd along this way, this path, and like all of us, he's just like us. What does he do? He starts craning his neck. He starts rubbernecking. He starts looking, trying to see over the rows of crowd. He starts asking, hey, what's going on up here? And maybe somebody says to him, oh, it's Jesus coming through. They're crucifying him today. Maybe Simon has heard something about Jesus. Maybe word has gotten to him in northern Africa. The word was spreading about this one who was performing such amazing miracles, the power of God being manifested in ways that it had never been seen before. And maybe Simon is in his mind thinking, man, I've heard about this guy. I've got to see him. And maybe he pushes his way through the crowd, shoulders his way, and all of a sudden he's there on the front line. The text says that he was seized. Mark and Matthew say that he was compelled. I like that, compelled. He was compelled to take the cross. Now really what he was compelled to carry was the cross tie of the cross. I know in our productions, our plays, you always see the person that portrays Jesus carrying this full cross. That's not really an accurate depiction. What someone, a prisoner who has been punished to die by crucifixion, they just carried the cross tie. Places of crucifixion already had the main beams that were laying on the ground, prepared to be put in a stationary place. So the prisoner only had to carry the cross tie, but no need getting into the details. Imagine all that Jesus has been through. The mockery of a trial, the beating, and all of that, betrayal by friends, abandoned by those that were supposedly that were his followers. I mean, this man is under tremendous physical, spiritual, mental anguish. And so here is Simon. Maybe an event he does every year, just part of my faith routine, coming to the Passover. And now all of a sudden, Simon finds himself thrown into the narrative of Jesus. thrown into the story of God's redemptive purposes through the person of Jesus Christ. And when I hear Simon, when I see Simon being thrust into this story in the most unexpected way, when just the circumstances of his everyday life intersect with the providential purposes of God, now then all of a sudden he's part of the story. And every time I read this, I know that the truth is that there's some of us here today who have been compelled upon, we have been seized by the Spirit of God at a time when we never expected it. It was just the perfect providential intersection of the circumstances of our life and the intersection of God's purposes.